Hello everyone. In today's video we will be discussing how a new player without any specs or any really good items can make silver. Now this silver farm won't be as efficient as soloing group dungeons, soloing static zones, doing corrupted dungeons with Slayer or high level PvP. This is a completely safe silver guide for new players without any spec or 8.3 gear. So let's get into it. Now, for this video, I'm going to be focusing on gathering, especially skinning. Now, skinning is the best profession you can choose as a new player because skinning you have a chance to get the baby drops which are worth over 90,000. I have got a baby drop in this run. You can see it's almost 90,000. It's almost 100,000. So this is not a possibility in any other gathering profession like stones, metals, fibers, wood, anything else. Now, in skinning, there are two main ways in which you can progress your character. The first one is the silver method, and the second one is the fame method. Now, what do I mean by these two methods? Now, let's take a look at that. For now, I have a tier 4 Avalonian knife, and if I wanted my character to make as much silver as possible and as quickly as possible, I would kill every mob that is lower tier than the knife. So I would kill tier 3s, tier 2s, and tier 1s, as those mobs can be skinned really quickly because our knife overlevels them and they provide good silver, but the fame is not good. But if I wanted to level up my gathering character as fast as possible, I would kill mobs that are the same level as my knife and one level above them. So in this case, I would kill tier 4 and tier 5 mobs. Now, in my character, I am going to use the silver method until I unlock tier 6. And after I unlock tier 6, I am going to use the fame method until I unlock tier 8. Alright, now I have made some compilations or footage of me gathering. So watch that, and I have also included a lot of really important tricks and tips for gathering in that footage. So don't skip over to the end. I know most of you guys will skip, so watch the whole video. You'll get a lot out of it. And yeah, stick around for the end of the video. So if you are a experienced player or a veteran player, there are many ways for you to farm silver, such as soloing group content, PvP, or doing Avalonian content. Now, these all types of contents are blocked for a new player as they don't have the silver or they just don't have the specs to do this content. Now, what else can a new player do without any spec or any investment? They can do gathering. Now, in the olden days, like 1 or 2 years ago, you could do solo dungeons and earn a lot of silver in 4.1 sets. You can't do that anymore because they nerfed the loot on solo dungeons. If you do solo dungeons, you have to get premium. Without premium, solo dungeons are garbage right now. And with premium, they are decent. If you can't solo group dungeons, solo dungeons are the next best thing that you can do without, you know, without having the specs or the 8.4 gear. So I will tell you guys how to progress your new character from tier 4 to 8.3 in this video. The first thing you should do is go to the Bridgewatch city. You have to select this city and not any other city because surrounding Bridgewatch we have zones that are rich in the resource of animals. So whenever you kill an animal in this game, you can skin them for their hide, and this hide is very in demand. I mean, it's very costly, so you get a lot of profit from doing this. Let's just check the prices of the hides real quick. So I have tier 2 hide, one tier 1, a tier 4 hide, and a tier 3 hide. Let's compare the prices. So the tier 1 hide is the most expensive for some reason. It's 221 silver. The tier 2 is going for 51 silver. Tier 3 is 79 and the tier 4 is 76. So when you are gathering, you have to check the prices of everything you can gather within your specs and just focus on grabbing the ones that are the most expensive and also the fastest to grab. So in this case, I have no reason to gather this tier 4 stuff as it takes a long time to skin them with my tier 4 knife, and they are also not very expensive. So another really important tip while gathering is to always use this pork pie. This increases your gathering yield by 15%, which means you get 15% more stuff than you would get without the pork. And you should always use the Avalonian knives. The Avalonian knife has a gathering yield bonus based on a tier. So combining my fork and the Avalonian knife, I get 25% more loot than I would get without using them. This is just free money, so always use an Avalonian knife and a pork pie. Now let's talk about what you should do after you unlock tier 5. So my character is still at tier 4 and it can't use tier 5 skinning knives and skinning items yet. So the first goal for me right now is to unlock tier 5. As you can see, it's almost there. So always use the learning points. The learning points are really important for leveling up gathering. If you want to level this total tree without learning points, it will take you years. I'm not joking, it will literally take you years if you want to level everything without using learning points. If you do use learning points, it will take you somewhere between a few weeks to a month, depending on how much you play and how lucky you get with the finding of the mobs. So gather your learning points and don't spend them on your weapons masteries or your armor masteries. Save your learning points for gathering, and once you can buy a tier 5 Avalonian skinning knife, head on to tier 5 zones. Now I am staying in the tier 4 zones because you know that tier 4 zones have the highest concentration of tier 4 mobs, and the tier 4 mobs provide the most expensive hide. So I'm playing on the tier 4 zones. When you can use a tier 5 knife, go to a tier 5 zone and start killing the tier 4 mobs. I know that I have just said tier 4 mobs are not worth killing. That is with this knife as they take so long to skin. But if you have a tier 5 knife, the skinning speed will be really short and the tier 4 mobs have a chance of dropping babies and tones. Now these two drops are really expensive and they're considered jackpots while you're gathering. The baby stag from tier 4 stags is worth around 90,000 and the tome is also in the hundreds of thousands. So go and kill the tier 4 mobs when you can use a tier 5 knife. And unless you can use a tier 5 knife, stick to the blue zone, a tier 4 zone, not a tier 3 zone. Go to a tier 4 zone and kill everything inside. Just everything. Ignore the tier 4s but kill the tier 1 rabbits, tier 2 impalas, and tier 3, everything you see. Just kill everything. And another really important thing you should be doing while skinning is to be faction flagged. So if you faction flag, you get a lot of bonus rewards, and I have made a whole video on how many rewards you can get just by faction flagging while you do your content. This is just a bonus reward. You don't have to do anything out of your way to claim these rewards. Just do your content and stay faction flagged while you do your content, and this will give you a lot of bonus rewards. So how much silver can you expect from gathering at this tier? The answer is around 400k per hour in tier 4. If you have a tier 5 skinning knife, it could be around 500k, and if you find any baby drops, that could be 600k per hour. So it really depends on your luck and your efficiency while skinning. Right, that's it for this one. I will include a compilation of my skinning, or I'll post pictures if I find any baby drops. Right, see you at the end of the video. Also, another quick note, if you guys find any tier 4 enchanted mobs, they are definitely worth killing, so get them even if you have a tier 4 knife. See, these are quite expensive. Each one is 150 silver, so always get the enchanted mobs. When you're doing any activity in the open world, you'll find these things called hidden treasures. Be on a lookout for them, as they can provide some really good loot. See, this one did not give me much loot, but you never know. Some people have gotten items worth hundreds of thousands from those. So yeah, just make a quick stop for them if you see them. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss the future content, and see you in the next one.